Mike, thanks. Developing and new tonight at 6. People accused of crimes here in Colorado waiting months to receive court-ordered mental competency evaluations and treatment at the state hospital in Pueblo. Now, a federal judge has ruled that the Department of Human Services, which oversees the hospital, out of compliance with an agreement the government made with a civil rights group. News 5's Andy Cohen in studio tonight with a closer look at what's been going on and the impact it's had on our courts and overcrowded jails. Andy.
Yeah, Rob, well, it slows down the cases through the court system, and it also adds to crowding at the jails. And there are really two deadlines in a state-agreed settlement from back in 2012 that the state was supposed to meet. Now, first was how quickly a defendant will be seen by a doctor for a competency evaluation, and second, if they are incompetent, how quickly they'll be admitted for treatment. In both cases, that is supposed to happen in less than 28 days. And we can show you on this graph, this is showing the average wait times for people trying to get those competency evaluations. I'll put the 28-day marker on here to give you a sense of what's going on. And you can see almost twice that amount. Now, in addition to that, we noticed that in March that dropped off substantially. But when we look at how quickly people were being admitted to the state hospital, I'll pull up the other graph here, you can see on these data points, again, the deadline here is 28 days, and this is 28, these average wait times double and triple that amount, sometimes waiting for months.
It's a pillar of the American criminal justice system. You're presumed innocent until proven guilty, and courts have long held that someone who is mentally incompetent cannot stand trial. The problem we're having in Colorado is that defendants are waiting months and months to see a doctor, let alone have their case go to trial. Civil rights groups sued the State Department of Human Services over this very issue back in 2012. Both sides agreed in a settlement that defendants would be evaluated and admitted for treatment in less than 28 days. The plaintiffs in this case reopened that 2012 lawsuit, arguing that the state broke its contract by continually failing to meet the deadline. But the agreement also gave the state the ability to exceed the deadline under special circumstances, and their lawyers argued that a spike in cases last June triggered that special circumstances clause. But the clause is only supposed to give the state a 6-month breather before they have to meet the deadline again, and DHS has continued to claim that exemption consecutively for 18 months now.
Now, the judge agreed with the plaintiff's motion and disagreed in part. She declared that the state is out of compliance, but did not impose a court-ordered deadline to comply. All of the parties in this lawsuit are going to be back in court at the end of the month for another hearing about that special circumstances clause. Watching out for you, Andy Cohen, News 5.